Born in a world where all humankind minded their own damn business. These boys spent the first portion of their lives in an easier time. Never having to hide behind what they wanted to do or say but couldn't. While we utilized all available time outside, our parents never had to fear that we'd be kidnapped or worse. We would ride bikes across towns without a worry in our heads. Our parents didn't even know where we were. The streetlights brought us home. Time wasn't ever spent viewing others' lives from a phone or a tablet. We were just too busy making every minute count in our own lives. Nowadays, kids are putting people on blast in front of the whole world. Instagram, Facebook are ruining people's lives. The old school should be shared and preached, not forgotten. And we should never forget just how to speak and listen.
Welcome to Never Dirty, Mostly Clean.
What up? What up?
Yo.
What up?
Welcome.
To Never Dirty, Mostly Clean.
I'm your host, Nathan.
And I'm Jason. We are coming to you. Today is, what is this, March already? Dude, March 4th? This is ridiculous. We are in the absolute future. 2020. This will probably be the first actual official published released
Yes.
podcast coming to you, coming to the masses. So we appreciate y'all listening. This will be a fun ride. We'll see. We're excited for the things we got going on. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. But to get us started today,
You know what's not fun?
let's talk about what's not fun.
Yeah.
What's not fun, Nathan?
This coronavirus thing.
Not very fun.
I realize that people have died and fallen extremely ill.
Extremely ill.
Are hospitalized and quarantined.
Yeah.
This isn't something pretty.
No. This is the stuff you see in movies. This is the
Here
stuff
I
you
go.
see in movies.
Here I go. We're just going to get in trouble right here.
We
But at the same time, do you think that this is glorified at all? Do you think that it's exaggerated even?
Definitely. I mean, what isn't nowadays? You think about all the last pandemics that we've had. SARS, swine flu, bird flu, MERS,
I see the pattern.
Zika, right? Magically, most of these seem to happen in election years.
Right.
You know, then you start to stir up the other pot.
I'm really glad you said the election thing. Because that's exactly what I was thinking.
Dude,
Here it is. Our higher-ups, the man, so to speak, knows that this is going to be one of the shittiest elections in history.
it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess.
It already is.
It
Someone's
already
already stirring it. This thing already smells like ish. So, it's so frustrating that they're like, well, let's just cause a natural disaster. That's just a plague. That's just wiping people out.
That'll do it.
And you know what? Let's name it after a beer. Just to fuck with everybody.
This is the irritating part. On a side note, if I see one more article or one more anything of anyone mentioning someone's not going to drink a Corona because of the coronavirus, I promise you.
People are calling restaurant fronts and being like, hey, I really like your restaurant, but you guys have that neon Corona sign. I'm not going to come in if you guys support Corona.
What are we doing, America? Oh.
These people are driving on the road with you.
People live in your neighborhoods.
Isn't that scary?
They walk by your home and they believe these things.
They touch the same public restroom doorknobs that you do.
We do in America.
It's just it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that this is our population now.
Dude, it is. But the scary part about this coronavirus, man, I think we all kind of live in this, living in America. It's not very difficult to fall into that. That's across the world. We live in America. It's not going to touch us until they start popping up, and then people start dying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh.
I mean, here it is though. Like in the back of my mind, I can't ignore that people are getting sick.
Yeah, man.
A guy in Rockland,
Yeah.
California,
Yeah.
died.
Died.
71 years old. So it's mainly affecting young and old.
Yeah, but it's not. But not kids. But
No.
they're saying like if you're under the age of, I think it's like 18, something like that, it's not really affecting you. You get sick, but it's like a common, cold or flu. But
Right.
it's those that have
Weak immune systems.
weak immune systems, cardiovascular issues, lung problems, because you have it and you may feel, oh, I feel good, but then all of a sudden, bang, like, oh, yep, I got it, and I'm dead in about 2 days, 2 3 days. So that's it's mostly hitting elderly and older people. So what we've with the kids playing sports and doing that, it's like every other day we're in places where there's large group of people, and sometimes grandparents are bringing their kids or their their
Right,
grandkids,
right.
and
Kids are gross and they're
kids
always
are gross.
touching
They're
each
always
other.
touching,
and-
man, like touching basketballs and touching their hands and touching their faces, and the kids are really the carriers. You know what I mean? Like they're the dangerous ones.
Yeah. They're the monkeys in our
outbreak.
outbreak.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes, like they're like the super carriers of.
And
of
we're
this.
just Dustin Hoffmans just running around.
Bubbling from the mouth. So, it's when you start to think of it like that, it becomes like, oh man, like we got to start thinking about, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, my son
I've
has
been
playoffs,
washing my hands a lot more.
because it
I'm
bothers
clean.
me that, yeah, I hope
come
so.
on, man.
I mean, I know where you've been. I know
own-
you've been for the most part.
I own soap.
So I know it's gonna spread quick, and especially now that we've already had one death where we are here in Rockland, Roseville, Sacramento, Greater Sacramento area. My mom, just talking to my mom, she was like, I was just at that hospital, a couple days ago. It's like, just like, oh, is my mom contaminated? Son? Like, oh, my mom's not sick.
Quarantine.
Quarantine, yeah.
But I mean, it does make you think.
It does make you think. You know what it makes me think? Why did the man release the illness in the first place?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the great conspiracy of the all-seeing eye. But so, one thing that coronavirus and, I guess getting older, being a dad, especially being a dad, there's a lot more stress, I feel like, that we face in our lives than ever before. And, before the stress was like, oh man, like I'm going to fail this class, or oh man, I'm going to be able to go to this trip, or no man, but now it's
this
like,
girl liked me
this girl
and she
liked me,
doesn't
this girl
know.
liked me, yeah. But now it's like serious things,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like feeding your children and, like taking care of your family and,
Shit, I need new tires on the truck.
like, oh, my
Where's
whole
that
family,
money gonna come
where's
from?
it gonna come from? And just work stress, home stress, dealing with your family stress,
Yeah.
that can get piled up. We hear a lot about, I think we hear a lot about the stress that women have, being women, being mothers,
Right.
having to take care of the home and having to work and having to, yeah, all of the above, and it's very true, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but men have problems too. Men have problems too. I know a lot of women out there have problems. Yeah, everybody has problems, and they're different. A husband's problems are different than a wife's problems. And the other thing about guys is we don't just, like, I'm not calling you like, Nathan, he won't believe what happened to me at the store today. I'm just going through so much, and I just need someone to talk to. I'm so glad you answered the phone. Like, nah, son, that's not happening. That's not happening.
No.
So if something happens to me during the day, and I get in my car, and all I can do is just punch my steering wheel and slap the tar out of my rearview mirror.
Yeah.
And I just got to internalize it.
Yeah.
Wifey comes home. How
That's
was your
gonna
day?
turn
Yeah,
into
it's
a
fine.
very small little chocolate chip of pure hate and
Yes.
anger, and it'll sit in your
sit
stomach for eternity.
Buried, baking, cooking,
waiting for that one time that you get to defend yourself against like
and then it's gonna
a
come out.
pickpocket or something, and you get to bust his teeth.
I'm telling you, and it happens. And I saw, the stress that I would go through, in my life, in my work life, and I would see that was built up, and like my kid does something, or something that just
and you pop off,
yes,
and then you
and
you bring it right back. It's
right.
like just for a split second,
Yeah.
everybody turns their head, and you go like, "I'm sorry,
like, my bad.
I don't even know
Like,
why."
I'm sorry, Daddy's. That wasn't right, and I think it's just because we guys, we internalize things, we keep things in, and I think that's to a detriment, I think, to a lot of guys, because mental health is real. A lot of people call it soft and being soft and blah blah blah, but I think that your mental well-being is a huge part of you being alive.
You
know
should
what I mean?
be in tune with it and aware.
Right. Because if you're not, and things are going to start happening, and
That's
then
how
you're
you
going to
explode,
Right.
and then you.
Yeah, you have anxiety attacks.
Yep.
Dude, the first time I had an anxiety attack, I didn't know what was happening. I thought I was dying. Like, I couldn't breathe. It felt like someone was just like pushing on my chest, and I couldn't catch my breath.
Yeah.
And it was like being locked in a coffin.
Did it feel like the room was closing in on you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I felt like Uma Thurman in Kill Bill when she was in that coffin.
Oh.
She was like, first she was calm, and then she started to freak
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Like that's how I felt.
Yeah.
That freak out, like I can't breathe, like I just need to catch my breath, and I can't catch my breath. You know what I mean? Start shaking. And it was just because you can't. It's hard for guys to talk about stuff.
Right.
Because we're supposed to be the strong ones. We're supposed to be ones.
This is probably the deepest we've ever gone. The two of us.
This is
Yeah.
a deepest we've ever gone in a conversation like this.
So that just goes to show I've known this guy for a long time now.
I'm like an onion.
Yeah.
I have
he's
layers.
laying his head on my lap right now.
I know.
You know,
he's caressing
and
my
I'm
cheek.
just petting his bald head. It's okay.
But yeah, man, I worry about us as men, man. I worry about us as men, and I worry that for those guys that aren't very stable, and the damage they could do to their family by not really honing in and finding out, and just it's one of those things. It's like you gotta come to grips with your sensitive side, man.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that, like having kids. Like now I'm just the softest dude. I'm softer than a whole roll of Charmin.
I'm a fucking Care Bear.
Dude, I don't know what happens. Like my
Busting
kids.
out the Care Bear stare anytime it's needed.
Man, I'm telling you. My kids came home one day and were like, my daughter was like, Daddy, I defended Roshan, my daughter. Was like, Daddy, I defended Roshan. I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah. And I had to push him. I was like, wait. I was like, what happened? Tell me what happened. And my daughter's like, yeah. And this kid was like, I was standing in line, and he pushed me out of the way. And then Roshan came and said, don't push my sister, and pushed him back. And then he pushed Roshan. And then I said, don't push my brother. And I'm just like looking at them with like giant doe eyes, like water welling up. I'm like, I'm so proud of you guys. Like, give me a hug. My son's looking at me, he's like,
Yeah.
are you crying? I'm like, hey, just hug me, dog. I got something.
Why are you calling me out?
Man, just give me a hug. There's nothing wrong. Just mind your business and hug your father. But I'm like, dude, I'm just telling you, I'm just soft now, man.
awesome.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Dude, I cry at movies. That sucks. That sucks.
Hey.
Coco.
Coco.
Coco broke me like no movie has in cinematic history.
Yeah.
I'm talking as far as my memory goes back. And it was probably because I'm a man now.
Right?
That was it. It sent a lightning bolt to some little spot in my body and brought out all of my emotion.
Yes.
Like I was like his relationship with his grandma, like me and my grandma, we were tight. And when he starts singing to her,
Oh yeah.
I was like, shit. And it's like a
Turn it
long.
off, turn it off, turn it
That's way too long of a scene. F you, Disney.
They know how to hit
dude.
them
And
heartstrings.
so I felt it happen. Like it came out of nowhere. I was like, "What's this?
What's happening?
Oh my god!
What's happening?
Oh no, this is way too much." And I felt it like start to tear up. So I just like laid onto my wife on the couch and like, you've met my wife plenty. She's a pretty strong bitch. She doesn't break. So I'm like laying my head on her. And then I just feel it start coming. And it uncontrollably went, "This movie's fucking stupid!" And like
Ugly
tears
cries,
just
man.
pouring, like, like out of my nose. Like, turn this shit off.
Oh man, no, you know
yeah.
what movie got me? And you're gonna love when I say this, because you love this movie. The Greatest Showman, Ted.
Oh my god, really?
Dude, man, I'm telling you, the same thing happened with you, Coco, because at the end of Coco, it got me saying like the end when he was singing with his guitar. Oh man, it got me. I was crying. But in The Greatest Showman, man, I don't know what it is about that movie, but when I first we watched it, we must have watched it probably 10 times in this 1 week, like as a family.
You want to watch it laying on your stomach and right in front of the TV with your hands, with your palms underneath your chin.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm seeing every number. But something about that movie just, they did a good job telling the story. I mean, the whole thing, P.T. Barnum was a clown. He was a racist clown, pretty much. And, he made his money out of the backs of others. But they just did a good job of embellishing the story, but it was just entertaining, very well entertaining, and how they, told a story about how he grew up and his kids and everything. It was just, but it all comes back to when you involve the kids, man. Like anything when you're talking about kids,
and,
I can't handle it.
Yeah.
I can't handle it. I can't do it. Like there's movies I just won't watch. Like I can't.
And that's why we get so stressed out. We get this anxiety because our only job is to keep them safe, and
alive,
fed, and all that.
Yes.
So when that is jeopardized, even on a screen,
I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it. I put myself in their place and say.
For all you gentlemen out there that aren't fathers yet,
it'll come. It's why you laugh. You're looking at it. You're probably like, these dudes are a bunch of punks.
They really are. They really are.
They are. And you will quickly turn soft.
Enjoy this time by yourself.
Yeah, enjoy that time. Sleep, get some naps. Drink as much as you can.
Do those things where you're like, well, if I pay electricity right now, I'll be able to use the toaster oven. But if I don't, I can get another handle today.
I could. Yeah, when you have kids, you can't make that decision.
No.
Unfortunately. But, we can't lose any of our power in our house because we are on a straight movie kick in the house. Like, we are just exposing the kids to as many movies as we can.
Yeah.
And right at a good time because they're starting to now, I think, appreciate the stories, before it was, it's, Marvel and, Disney movies.
Yeah, because they can start relating with portions of characters and things like that. Movies are great. And me and my son, we just started watching all of, we did James Bond.
Okay.
The new one's coming out.
Okay. So would you start back?
I watched all the Sean Connery ones with him.
Okay.
Sean Connery's my favorite.
He's your
and
favorite?
Then we watched all the Daniel Craig ones.
Okay.
I skipped over everything else.
I'm a Roger Moore fan. I
do like Roger Moore, but I felt like it was very 80s-esque.
Yeah.
And I felt like he wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because, with the 60s and the 70s and things like that, it was still very classy and things like that.
Right.
Where Roger Moore, he's all business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck about the ladies.
Yeah.
But it's like the corny effects and stuff like that, where
and that's the
before
hard part.
that, it would be like, you know, you may see blood or something like that, but it was minimal, you know, so it didn't look corny or fake.
Right. Yeah, and I think another hard part about movies for our kids, and I think we grew up in a time, I don't know, we kind of go through the same thing, but I think we were still at a time where we can appreciate it. So the technology that we have for movies now,
Right.
I mean, literally, you can make them see anything they want you to see. Anything.
Yeah.
You know, when we were younger, you know, we were just getting into the new technology, you know, Spielberg and George Lucas, and, you know, they started doing some really good things, some really cool things visually.
I remember when CGI, like first
like
came
Jurassic
up.
Park.
Yeah.
Like Jurassic Park was like the first big one.
Yeah,
It was like,
yeah.
like I remember that first scene with that brachiosaur like eating the tree and like stomping on the ground,
Yeah.
and like we were in the
And it
THX theater.
fucking
Oh,
shakes.
dude, I was like, I was
Yeah.
like, this is amazing. Yeah, that was really cool. But now, you know, our
They
kids
do exist.
yeah, right. But now our kids grow up in the, you know, like
They were born in
Marvel.
that. They
Yeah,
were
they're dropped
picked up
into it.
and blue.
Right. And so like anything less than that.
Yeah.
So we show them stuff when we were younger.
Yeah.
They're like, what is that?
Like Evan and I watched all the Matrix movies, which I'm actually happy he enjoyed.
yeah. And
But-
they're filming Matrix 4 in San
yeah,
Francisco
but,
right now.
But we got to a point. I know, dude. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so
that's
glad
dope.
they're doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Keanu Reeves with all the John Wick
The
movies
John
and
Wick.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Ugh.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So, what was I saying?
Matrix. You watch Matrix with
Yes.
yeah.
And he was like, "Why is it so corny, though?" He's like, "I really like it, but why is it so corny?"
What did he say was
And-
corny about it?
Like the bullet dodging and stuff. Like, why does the bullets look so fake and stuff? And I was
Okay.
like, "Son,
Okay.
This was at a
but-
time
but-
where it was groundbreaking.
Right.
It paved the road for the CGI you see today with
Yeah.
Avengers and things.
Oh
like
yeah, like that scene with him dodging
Yeah.
the bullet, like
Yeah.
just that technology that they
Yeah.
used,
Yeah.
like started
that.
so
Like with
many
camera turning and
right.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
Oh, just
so groundbreaking,
Yeah.
but they just don't appreciate it because it's
no.
like, oh,
yeah.
like that's
like
just
that.
looks-
That part of the movie is the part that he appreciated the least out of the entire movie. Where that part blew me away.
yeah, right. Oh man, that movie's so good.
Yeah.
so good. And I still want the kids to watch it, but anyway, we digress.
Yeah,
we digress.
But I'm showing him things. It's not stopping me from showing him movies from all over the place. We watched
Yeah.
Predator. He loved Predator.
Great movie. My kids love Predator.
We watched Terminator. He loved Terminator.
My kids haven't watched Terminator yet.
Well, I mean, yours are
They're a
mine's
little
12.
younger.
So
yeah, I got 8 and 6. 8
Yeah.
and 6, a little bit younger.
yeah, he can do blood and stuff, but he can't do like real deep movies.
Right.
You know, like he
Like,
just,
like over the top is better than like
Yeah,
the,
yeah, because he still gets scared and stuff and things like that. But if it's just blood,
yeah.
like when John Wick kills those two dudes with the pencil.
Oh yeah.
Like he was like, oh, like it didn't stop him at all. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, man. But so speaking of old and new, 2020 has some good movies coming up.
New.
New. Some good movies coming up. So there is. You start.
All right.
You start.
All right. I got one. It is a sequel.
Go on.
I'll give you a hint. There is very few words in the movie.
Enlighten me.
Yes.
I believe.
I don't have any more clues. It was
Husband wife
Quiet Place
team.
2. Yeah.
Husband wife team.
Quiet Place 2 is
Quiet
coming
Place 2 is coming out. And if you haven't seen Quiet Place 1,
out.
choke
You're doing
yourself.
it wrong. Yeah.
Choke
Stop
yourself.
watching news videos about coronavirus for a second.
For real.
And check this shit out.
Check it out. It was a very, very directed by John Krasinski, who also starred in it,
Yeah.
and his wife, Emily Blunt.
And I want to say it's on Netflix right now.
I believe it is on Netflix. I believe it is.
Netflix or Hulu, I don't know.
One of
But
them.
I've
one of the streaming
I've recently
services.
watched it again,
Yeah.
and it was still good.
Still good. Still
When
good. She's in the tub.
Spoiler,
Dude.
spoiler,
Spoiler.
quick spoiler.
Big
It's been
spoiler.
out long enough. We
Yeah.
can do
I mean,
this.
if you haven't seen
When
it by
she
now.
steps on the nail
Oh,
on the
son.
stairs, and you know what's gonna happen.
because they've been
Yeah.
like setting it up the
Yeah.
whole movie.
Ah.
Yes,
Just
and
bad
you can't say,
timing.
like,
Bad timing.
oh man, yeah. And then there's you just got to see. Just see
Yeah.
the movie if you haven't seen the movie. But we can tell you the premise of the movie.
We're back.
The premise of the movie
Yeah.
is In a Quiet Place, the first one. So it's in the future. It's surrounding this family, John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, and their 3 kids. And basically, you're in this future time where there are these creatures. You don't know whether they're alien, whether they came from the earth somehow, something awoke in them. We don't know. They didn't divulge in that. But all you know is you cannot make a sound.
You get without much speech in the movie. There's very little dialogue until a good 3/4 of the way through almost.
Yeah, about halfway, 3/4 way through the movie.
And you know everything they know in the first minute and a half.
Oh yeah. One of the best beginnings to a movie I've seen in a while.
Yeah. I
It's-
immediately sat the end of my butt on my chair and stayed like that.
Yes. Yeah. It really ropes you
Yeah.
in the first
Yeah.
minute and a half. Really, really well made film. Really, really good. So the sequel is coming out. It looks to be and again, I say
can't
this as a
tell
movie buff.
if-
Okay, go ahead, because I think we're gonna say the same
can't
thing.
tell if it's a sequel or a prequel or both.
I think it's
Does it
both.
Does it kind of wrap it?
I think it starts. I don't know if it
makes it a
starts, but
bigger ball.
So they have scenes of when
Yeah.
it first started and what happened when they first started,
Right.
and then where they are now.
Okay.
So and yes, you definitely noticed that there was a beginning, an origin story in the
Right.
second one. But I think most of it takes place in the current time. You know who is in it? Who is the, I guess you would call who would be the co-star co-star is I can't remember his name. Peaky Blinders, the guy from Peaky Blinders, main character.
Oh, Colin Murphy.
Yes.
Colin Murphy.
He is opposite Emily Blunt.
I hope I'm saying his name right.
I don't know.
Oh, that's
But
cool though.
yeah, he's in it. Yeah, I like him as an actor.
I
So,
like that actor. Also, if you haven't seen Peaky Blinders, wow, that's a great show.
yeah, good
That's
show.
a
Check it
great
out.
show.
Check it out. Nathan put me on.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's a good show. All right, so
you
you
got?
started out with Quiet Place 2. I'm gonna hit you with this one now. Most people probably don't even know about this one. Our boy Marco hit me onto this one, and
Marco is like our technology boy genius.
yeah, technology, movies. He keeps his ear straight to the streets,
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
information you need, audio, video, anything, he's got you. But anyway,
Or
he's
if
gonna
you
be getting
need
phone
like
calls
a
now.
Fire Stick jailbroke or something, he does that
Right.
too.
Yeah, he does all that. But anyway, so depending on this movie, and this is kind of like looking at as it's coming on, and it doesn't look like it's one of those movies that had a lot of big budget backing to it, but it's a really well-made movie. So it's called Guns Akimbo, starring Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter from Harry Potter fame. Yes, and he plays just this
What is happening?
nerdy dude who sits on his computer all day long. And there's this website called Schism that it's like this dark web kind of website where they pit these lunatics up against each other and they fight to the death, and it's all shot with they follow them around with the drones as they're fighting and all this stuff, and so you get to watch it. Kind of it reminded me of like Running Man. Remember they really like Running Man? Yeah, kind of similar, like a game show kind of thing, but it's on the internet and everything. And so he is just like he's just this loser kid, and he's just a troll. So he just goes on and is just trolling people, trolling. So he goes on to the Schism and he starts trolling people, trolling. And he's like, all right, I'm going to bed, good night. And so then, doom, knock at his door. Boom, someone kicks the door in. And these dudes are like, hey, aren't you so-and-so? And he's like, oh, I didn't mean any of that stuff. Yeah, right. Boom, knock him out. He wakes up. Bolted to his hands are 9mm guns. Bolted
my
to his
gosh.
hands. He cannot, all he can use are those guns. And there's counters on them. 50 shots in the left, 50 shots. It says lefty 50, righty 50. And so he only has 50 in each hand. and so he has to go and kill this one contestant girl who's like the best, at this gold schism thing, and he's supposed to kill her, and then you follow them through the story. But it is a good movie. It's just a action-packed, lots of guns,
You've seen
vulgar. Yes, I watched it. Yeah. I watched it.
Wow.
It's an entertaining movie, not for kids, but it's an entertaining film.
You know that Daniel, what's his last name?
Radcliffe.
Radcliffe.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a show, and it was only one season with John Hamm, and they were doctors, like way out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And it was like a real dark comedy, like super dark. And I thought he played such a good role in that because it was way different than Harry Potter.
Yes.
And so I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
Kind of excited.
He does good. Usually like those actors that are, they start out as like a kid, kid character.
Yeah. Well, they get all screwed up in the head. They
Right.
get all Macaulay Culkin.
Yes.
Sorry, bro.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Sorry,
you're an adjective
Macaulay. Yeah. But he does a good job in the films that he's in and the roles that he plays. He actually is in a TV show right now on TBS. I think it's a comedy, one of those dark comedies.
The God one with.
No. Oh, no, he's in a different one now.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that one too. Yeah. No, he's in a different one now. Where he's like a prince or something back in like medieval times or something. Here, let me look it up. I can't remember the name of it, but he plays these funny roles very well, and it's cool to see him in those type of roles. But okay, Guns Akimbo, check it out. All right.
Speaking of video games and stuff like that, and, Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
And the trailer starts with him like waking up, and you can tell this guy's like overly happy, like disgustingly happy with himself.
Okay.
And just like can't have a bad day kind of guy,
Right.
And he goes to work at the bank, and they get held up, and he just like drops on the floor like it's no big deal, like it happens all the time. And then he gets his face busted, and you can see him kind of snap, and he's like, I'm gonna try something new, and gets up and blows a hole in this dude with a shotgun, and just like gets woke. Walks out and realizes that his life and world is a video game.
So wait, how does he realize this?
Every person that does bad in the world is wearing glasses.
Okay.
I shouldn't say
Let's
it
say-
does bad because I
Right.
don't really, but that's the way that
That's the way it
trailer
seems.
portrays it.
Yeah.
So he takes the glasses off this guy after he kills him, puts them on, and like he can see like a health pack on the ground. So he goes and picks it up, and it fixes his face, and he's just like fully stoked again. And then it escalates from there. You should at least check out the trailer.
Yeah.
It looks very interesting.
That's a
and
pretty
funny.
pretty cool concept. I like
yeah.
that. That sounds it sounds like it's going to be entertaining. But what I couldn't grasp, I don't know, maybe I could grasp. It was rated R.
I didn't pay attention to that.
Because we could have another
Because if
Deadpool
this
situation.
is PG, then it's gonna be awful.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. See,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. Because I'm thinking, it's either going to be one of two things. If it's PG or PG-13, it's probably not going to be that good. If it's rated R, it's going to be good. But we're going to have a Deadpool situation where parents are taking their kids to see this because it's video games and stuff, and they're like, well, I can't believe that they would put something like this out for kids. Do your research, parents. Don't be dumb.
Why isn't it telling me? Oh, I'm concerned.
That's all right. But
Concerned is growing.
while you do that, Daniel Radcliffe's show is called Dark Ages, or Miracle Workers: Dark Ages.
See, Miracle. I think that's the same show, dude. I think this is the new season.
Okay.
Does
okay.
it have? Oh man, I'm doing awful with names right now. This is embarrassing.
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi, it does.
Yeah.
Then I think it is this next season of
Okay, of that show.
the show.
Okay.
Because Steve Buscemi is Jesus.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, the level of concern has risen in the movie Free Guy. I don't see a rating. It is coming out July 3rd, and yeah,
They're gonna make it PG-13. I know it.
yeah. If they do, I'm not gonna see this, and I will retract my interest.
Everything
from
I
it
said.
in the beginning.
I will retract everything I said. So check those movies out. Should be fun. Good movie season coming up.
Yeah.
No Star Wars to look forward to this year, but that's
You
all
know
right.
what? I'm good with it.
I'm good with it too. I need them to take their time
Yeah.
on the High Republic.
Yes,
That is going to be I watched this kind of a trailer. Lucasfilm did it like this trailer where they brought all the writers from the books, the different lines of books,
Right.
from Marvel, from everyone that's kind of contributed to the overall
Universe.
canon of
Yeah.
right. And so they're starting to get they're started working on basically developing the universe as it is during that time. What are they? What are the Jedis at that time?
Filling in plot holes and things like that. Hopefully.
Yes, right. Yes,
Yeah.
hopefully. So it sounds like the Jedi of that time are more like rangers. They kind of roam, kind of like you would
Unannounced and
yes,
yeah,
and
okay.
kind of keep the peace in that
Yeah.
in that kind of sense more than they were more political. I think it seemed
Yes,
like.
I would agree. More
Episode 1
militant,
through 3.
even.
Yes, correct. So that I'm interested to see. And then that's during the time of Darth Bane, who was the Sith who started the whole tradition of there can only be two Sith.
Right. There's a master and
And an apprentice,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So he's the one that kind of started that. So it surrounds his story also during that time. So I'm interested to see.
Yeah. Are
what
they
do
still
with that.
doing the Obi-Wan?
They are, but now it's going to be a show.
Oh.
It's going to be a show on
Okay.
Disney Plus. Yeah.
Oh, bastardos.
Yeah. So they basically have taken anything that they were like, oh, we're going to do a movie. So the Boba Fett movie is now Mandalorian. The Boba Fett movie that they're going to have, that's
Okay.
Mandalorian. They decided, no, we're not going to do a movie.
Yeah.
We need to focus on
I
episode
really
9.
like Mandalorian.
I really like Mandalorian. And so the Obi-Wan movie is now going to be Obi-Wan's show on Disney Plus. And so I think they're putting all of their thought and heart in this new High Republic Star Wars canon. So I'm excited to see it, man.
Me
It should
too.
be good.
Me too.
It should be
I
good.
just- you know what? I hope they let Jon Favreau keep doing this stuff, man.
I do too. He's really good at what he does, man.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
really good at what he does. He takes the fantasy kind of action genre.
He just doesn't disappoint me. Even his chef show on Netflix, I love that show.
He did Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Jungle Book, man. This dude is everywhere.
And he did Lion King, which I didn't like as much as Jungle Book.
Yeah, he did do Lion King. That's right. He did do Lion King. I like that. With the remakes, I thought Lion King was good, and it's hard to.
They shot it super cool. The way
Right.
that they did the camera stuff and everything, because everything was CGI.
Right.
Like, that blew my mind. I watched, like, the making of.
Mm-hmm.
It just, like, that's where CGI is headed.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And, it was really cool. But it just was kind of the same.
It's the same. It's the same, and I think that's the thing. It's cool, especially for adults. It's like, oh, our kids get to see this, and imagine if we had first saw it when and it was like live action. Like that'd been so cool. And I think we appreciate it because we did see it as a cartoon, and now we're seeing it live
I
action.
think that's the only reason why we appreciate it.
Right. Outside of that, it's the same story. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's cool. Like my kids like it, and it's cool to see how they did it. Seeing the technology and how it advances, but it's the same movie.
Yeah.
It's the same movie.
There was so many parts where I was just more disappointed in, because it felt like they rushed through it. Like I remember when Lion King came out and Simba like sings the song with Nala and they're like, I just can't wait to be king. And like there's hella colors and stuff and all the animals are standing on each other. When they did it in the movie, it was just like, oh, it's over. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, how are they going to do that past Nala and Simba doing acid?
Yeah. It would have taken away from the realness of it, which would have been the point. I mean, which is the point, you know, to make it real.
And the youthfulness of them being children on acid, Jason. Don't forget about that.
Don't forget that part. Kids need to experience that. I mean, not the acid part. You know, watching live action creatures. Don't give your kids acid. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Just a real quick back to this coronavirus. So I have allergies, right? You know, it's been windy and unseasonably warm here.
Yeah, I got so much stuff in my lungs.
Dude, I'm coughing and I'm sneezing, and I feel like when I'm in public and I'm having these allergic, like coronavirus, like, you know, like I feel just shunned. And I'm like, listen, I have bad allergies. Please don't shun me. I do not have the coronavirus. I just have allergies. Okay.
It's like that scene in Monty Python, Search for the Holy Grail, when they're going through that town and it's right after they see the king and they're like, how can you tell it's the king? Oh, he doesn't have shit all over him. And like the guy's pulling the wagon and he's like, come to collect your dad. And he brings out that old guy and tries to check him on. He's like, I'm not dead yet. That's what it's like.
That's exactly what it's like. He'll be dead soon. Yeah, man. So if you see someone sneezing, coughing, you know, for the most part, it's probably allergies.
But I mean, stay away. Don't try to block their sneeze with your hand.
Correct. Or your mouth or your face. Please don't do that. Don't try to catch it. Try to catch it in your mouth. All right. So I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
To the segment we like to call.
What do you got?
She said, we said.
Oh, no. Okay.
Now, you may know the term normally as she said, he said. But most guys know there's not really he said. It's she said, and well, that's what we.
Oh, this is how I vision this. Okay,
yes.
All right. No, that makes sense. Yours sounds better, to be honest. This is when Jason and I get in the most trouble.
Yeah.
Because now we have to shut this off right before the end so our wives don't hear it. Jason, go.
I ain't scared, son. I ain't scared. All right. So, fellas, and I know. Ladies, listen. I know you're going to hear this, and you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Fellas, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. So, my daughter's in gymnastics. They had pictures. Okay. I walk in, and my wife was looking at the brochure, the pamphlet for all the pictures. And so you have to order them right there. You know, so you order them right there, and you pay for them. And so, you know, I walk up, and I'm like, oh, you're doing pictures. And she's like, yeah. She's like, take a look at this. She's like, which ones do you want to get? I'm like looking at it, and it's like packages, like blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, I don't know. I was like, I think we should probably get like, you know, maybe this one and this one. She's like, why would we get that? Like, why do you want to get that size? Like, why do we need that many? I was like, you just asked me a question, and you asked for my input, and you just
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Like,
why would you or anyone else want that?
I don't even know why they have it on there, and you picked it?
I suppose you want the keychain, too. Look at this guy.
I said, what? Well, okay, well, why did you even ask me? She was like, well, I just didn't think that you would want that. Okay, all right. Well, I told you what I wanted. Clearly, that's not what you wanted, and you knew that before I was going to ask.
Because they were women.
Or you asked me,
first of all, I'd just like to touch on this real quick. Jason and I both love women unconditionally.
I love my wife.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, I just want to make sure I say that.
Don't turn it into something worse than it already is that you started.
Listen, this is going out on the airwaves, son.
I know.
I ain't trying to. I need a place to go home to and sleep.
But now you're poking me. You're poking the bear, and he's coming out the cave now. So, all I'm saying is that we aren't sexist or anything.
No,
And
no.
we hope that you women that are listening right now are getting a little riled up, and then we can get some feedback from you.
That's what we would like. Because, ladies, I mean, come on, understand this.
Yeah,
You knew.
You have a superpower. You can read our minds before we say anything.
For real.
Before there's a facial expression, you already know the answer when you say, "Which one do you like?"
And you already know the answer is going to be dumb. You think the answer is going to be dumb, and you already know you're going to go with the opposite thing.
If this is your way of including us, please let me know. So I'm just ahead of the game, and then I can go, baby, you already know what I'm going to say.
You're right. You just go ahead and pick.
Or are you doing it for us to try to read your mind? And then pick the one that we don't want.
Yeah.
Just to go, that's what I was thinking. High five for couples.
We did it.
Yeah.
See the she said, we said.
Yeah.
See where that comes from? Mm-hmm. We did it. So please, ladies, please, just pick what you want. If you know it's something that we're not going to care about, I really don't care which pictures I'm going to get for my daughter's gymnastics. I just want a picture to have in my house. I don't care if it's an 8x11, which I picked.
Right.
But apparently that's forbidden to have. And that's fine.
I mean, but there has to be a line drawn in the sand. And don't bring home a new table and expect me to be okay with it. We gotta have some kind of coexisting.
Yeah. There has to be some sort of input, and even if it's something, this is what my wife does, and I appreciate it. Before she goes to IKEA a lot. A lot.
As does mine.
A lot.
Too often.
I think she's probably Swedish.
Gotta love them meatballs.
Meatballs.
You keep turning things in to things that I'm not saying. I mean, I'm saying them, but that's not how I mean it.
I know that. You know that.
You're drawing a picture for our listeners.
I am.
Before I show them the truth.
So anyway, the wifey, what she does is when she goes to IKEA, which she knows I do not want to go to IKEA. She'll be like, hey, I'm going to go run some errands. I'm like, where are you going? She's like, I'm going to go to Trader Joe's. Where else are you going? Oh, I might stop and say, where else are you going? Oh, I'm going to stop at IKEA. Of course you are. Of course you are. And you're not going to be back to, 5, 6 tonight?
Yeah. IKEA's a 4-hour trip.
Dude.
Don't let anyone trick you.
That place.
So,
anywho.
I would rather take needle nose pliers and randomly pick a toenail and pluck it off than go there.
Oh, dude, like you have to go all the way through the place. That's the thing that bothers me.
Yeah,
but I want to get out.
The way that they organize it, that's ingenious.
It's very, very smart. It's very, very smart. But I don't do shopping. Well, when I was a kid, and I'm sure most guys my age can attest to this. When I was a kid, my mom loved to shop. To shop. In the 80s, we used to be at Mervyn's. We'd be at Penny's.
And
we'd
you get
be
in
at
trouble
Macy's.
for hiding in the clothes.
Oh, man, hiding inside the clothes, touching the mannequin's boobies, just doing all sorts of crazy stuff. But it's like, come on, dude. Like, why I'm an 8-year-old kid. Why am I at Mervyn's for 3 hours? Like, why? No.
It feels like you're fighting yourself out of your own shirt. Like, you're like,
just gotta get.
I don't even know what to do.
Get out. It's just so hot all the time. Dude, I can't. And so now, like, that I'm older, I'm a man. Like, my wife knows, hey, I'm probably going to be going to IKEA. Like, you want to stay and hang out with the kids? Yeah. Yes. We will be here doing jump rope, making bubbles.
Why don't you go and enjoy some time by yourself?
Yes. You have that special time.
I'll sit on the grenades. I'm in the trenches. Catch your grenades.
So, she knows I'm not having it. I'm not going to IKEA. I'm not doing that. So,
but maybe a picture.
She will take pictures.
What do you think?
Dude,
that's
I'm telling
what my wife does too.
I love it.
Yeah.
And even if it's like, you know what? I know when she sends me the pictures, it's a facade we both put up. She's taking the pictures like, all right, I'm gonna send these. I already know what I'm getting, but I'm gonna send these.
We're buying this.
This is what I'm
in
getting.
the cart.
But I'm gonna send these other ones to make him feel like he's involved. And so then I get the pictures,
Hey,
and I'm like,
babe, what do you think?
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I really don't care, and I know she's gonna pick it anyway.
Which gray do you like?
Right. And I'm like, I don't know which one you like. And she's like, well, I like the one on the left. Yep, that's the best one. Let's just go with that. See, then everyone's involved.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I understand, ladies. I understand.
Right.
But just understand that we understand that you understand, because we'll play the game a little bit.
Right.
But there's a line.
Here it is. When it comes to pictures, we just want to make sure that pretty much mom gets one, and then we have one up in the house.
Yeah.
Past that, we don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care.
We don't care. We don't care at all. I don't care. I mean, there's some things I care about, but for the most part, I mean, she's like, hey, I'm gonna go to this. I really don't care. I really don't care. But if it's like, hey, we gotta change the carpet color, like, all right, well, I need to know about that. Yeah, or like we're gonna put in some hardwood floors. All right, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
But outside of that, the only thing I asked
Or
for.
if you're gonna switch like chip brands or something crazy.
Yeah, okay. Listen, now we're getting a little bit too deep. You don't just change a man's chip brand. Listen,
Yeah, we
nacho cheese Doritos. And
fully
Funyuns.
stocked at all times.
That's it. And let me run out.
Yeah.
Let me run out.
Mm-hmm.
I listen.
And chips don't go stale. Don't ever throw those away.
Chips aren't chips until they're stale.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I will open a
love-
bag. Oh man, I will open a bag and just leave it for like 2 weeks and come back, and it's like that half crunch, half chewy.
Yeah. They're like little thin cookies.
Oh man.
And then you can just
man.
crush them and sit on the couch when no one's home, and you just drink the bag.
Yes. In our future episodes, we're gonna start a little. We can't be a Q&A, at least not yet. We're not there yet.
I don't think we should
technology-wise, but
title them
We're not
yet,
gonna title them yet,
but we
we're
can
gonna.
give a little sneak peek right now.
Yeah. So a couple things, just things about us, things that we're trying to introduce you guys to us, so you guys know us. We want to be a household name. So how else can we introduce ourselves to you without telling you a little bit about ourselves? So we like stale chips. You just learned that about us.
Yeah.
We like
yeah.
chips that are not fresh, not.
I
crunchy.
didn't know that we both liked stale chips.
That was something new I
until now.
learned about you too.
We're learning on each other.
Everyone
even.
is learning. Everyone is learning. Welcome.
Yeah.
So, little something about me, and I'm gonna do today. Let's go with the phobia. And with the phobia, it doesn't have to be a phobia. Let's not say a phobia. Let's say a negative quirk that we have.
Okay.
So not something that we like, or something, what I mean?
Not
Like
something we're proud of,
yes,
but a
not something
quality
we're
trait.
proud of, yes, but something negative. And for mine, I'm
right.
going to go with the phobia. I have two of them.
All right.
One of them is spiders. I don't do spiders, son.
Oh, you can't even
Arachnophobia.
kill them, huh?
Well, no, okay. No, I won't say that. No. It's not that I can't kill them. I can kill them. I just don't like how they're constructed. I have a problem
With the way that they move.
with the way that they move. I have a problem with their nature. They're disgusting. I feel that they're not natural. I feel like they don't need to be here.
Yeah.
I feel like God could have left them up in heaven, and we could see them later.
It was like God was like, "Hey, let's just give this group of ants right here like a whole bunch of angry steroids
And
just
add
see
2
what
legs. And then make them hairy. But
Yeah.
wait. And then they have this web that comes out of their butt.
happens." Yeah. Hey, give them a big ass.
Big ass. But not 2 eyes.
No.
8.
Yeah. Or more. Just like a face full of eyes.
Just a face full of eyes.
Oh, and these guys, if they bite you, your skin starts melting.
Yes, and they have claws like nails at the end of each leg, so when they walk on hard
Oh,
surfaces,
this is gonna be great.
Oh man, these humans are gonna love it. They're gonna love it, dude. Let me tell you this story about. This is my spider story. I have a couple spider stories, but this one was one where I came face to face with this spider in the garage, in my garage. Okay, so you know in my garage where I have those mats, right? On the
Right,
ground.
right.
Okay. So I have like these, like like play mats you have in like in a gym or something, like the soft foam mats.
Yeah.
Foam mats. So kind of lining all of my back into my garage. So I come into my garage one night. I forgot what I went in there for. I think I went to my car or something. And I walk over by in the corner, like we have like this workout gear, and like I see something like on the ground. Like, what is that? And I couldn't tell. It was something brown and round. You know, I was like, what is that? And I couldn't figure out. I'm like, is that lint, or is that like a piece of like tumbleweed? Like, what is that? So I'm like getting closer and getting closer.
So it was
and then
big.
and so then it realizes I'm there, and then it like sits up at attention. And I was like, and like I like freeze, dude, like freeze, like hands goes up to my chest, and I'm like standing there looking at it, like we're just like
Making
looking at
fists
each other.
like, I'm going to punch it.
Yeah, like, I'm like, I got to do something, but I ain't no punk, son, so I ain't gonna run. I got to stand my ground. In my head, I'm like, I'm gonna stand my ground. I ain't
Don't
scared.
pee.
I ain't
Don't
scared.
cry.
Don't pee. I ain't scared. So I like take a step towards it, and then it turns to run, dog, and I hear on this mat, son. I said, nope, out. I'm out. I left. I don't know what happened. All I know is I
I
left.
ain't no bitch. Ah!
That was exactly me, son. I'm like, nope. Bounce, son. I went into the house, and I was like, I can't leave it out there. So I went back out, and I tried to find it, son. I couldn't find it. Luckily, I found it dead because I was telling the kids about it, you know, and they're like looking around trying to find it. And we found it dead underneath the elliptical, you know, or something. I was like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
Dang.
I'm like, I don't know how I was gonna live in that house, son, without knowing. But I had a couple other spider stories in that garage. That, dude, I mean, when they were building the houses behind us,
Yeah.
man, there were some creatures, some straight specimens that would come into our garage. Nasty, disgusting. All right, your turn. Tell the people your weakness.
I only have one. And it's about to come to serious light.
Okay.
I'm going to Hawaii.
Okay.
And I'm super excited. I've never been.
What island?
Kauai.
Oh, the best one.
Really?
I've only been.
Dude, I
That's the
don't
only
even-
island I've been
like,
to. But
I mean, other than pictures and like, you know that it's an island and you know there's flowers. It's supposed to be the greenest place on earth. All that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know what to expect.
it's not what you think of like Hawaii, like, oh, I'm going to the beach every day and like surfing and like blah blah. It's like, it is just gorgeous, like garden. They call it like the Garden Island. And it has like the Grand Canyon of the Pacific, you know,
Yeah,
down
yeah.
the center of it. It's where they filmed the first Jurassic Park.
Right, we're gonna go on a helicopter ride and stuff around it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean it's gorgeous. So you know the waterfall in the first Jurassic Park where they come
Yeah.
down the helicopter, that's there. You can hike there. It's like an 11-mile hike, but you can hike there. So it's just like kind of more like untouched rainforest, waterfalls, canyons. The beaches aren't the biggest part on Kauai. I'll just say that.
Okay.
The beaches aren't the biggest part of the island. I mean that people go there to see. You know, you go there to see this. Like when we went, there was this. I wanted to go like cliff diving. You know, I wanted to jump off like a waterfall or something.
Yeah.
And we like asked these locals, you know, like, hey, like when we go cliff diving, they're like, all right, and like, you know, they're Hawaiian, like little accent, like, all right, go back down by the Safeway, and you go behind the Safeway, and they're telling us, like, we took this road, take this dirt road, and he's like, go down the dirt road until it curves, and then you'll see like these tall, like tall green plants, and he's like, once you see it change. And he's like, just tell us, like, once you see those plants change, he's like, stop the car. He's like, get out back. There should be like a little path. And he's like, you walk down that path and you'll hear the water. And then you'll go over this little fence and then you'll just follow the water down. And we walk down and it like, you're at the top of this creek. And you're walking down and you can hear like water like getting louder. And you walk out, dude, and there's this lagoon. And you're standing at the top of this waterfall. And it's like a huge, probably about I don't say about an acre, maybe a little less than an acre sized lagoon. and this giant waterfall, and there's trees lining the whole side on each side, and like locals were there climbing up the top of this tree, jumping off, doing flips. Like we were jumping off the waterfall, dude. It was the absolute coolest thing that I've ever done on an island.
That's cool.
And just stuff like that. I mean, just like this untouched kind of paradise.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, that's what Kauai is.
Okay. Flying and all that, all those things that I touched on that you maybe thought is it. That's not it.
Okay.
That's not my problem at all. I even love swimming. I would love to do some cliff diving or something like that. Oh, that'd be so much fun jumping off a waterfall. But I do not fuck with the ocean. I can't get in the sea. I can't swim in the ocean.
Okay, so this is a very valid fear. I do not like deep water. I do not like being at the top surface and under me is like leagues.
If
yes.
it's
I don't do that.
And I love paddleboarding. Like another month and I'm gonna be out there. I don't care how cold the water is.
Okay.
Because I don't fall in good.
But not in the ocean.
But in the ocean, there's no way I could do it. There is no way that even if somebody was like, hey, I'm not using my paddleboard. Do you want to go out real quick? You couldn't pay me to do it.
Nope.
Because by the time I got on it and I would start paddling out, I would have the worst anxiety in my life. And I'd be like, a shark is already coming. It's on my legs.
I'm telling you, that fear is a very valid fear.
And it's not that I'm afraid of sharks.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to be eaten by a shark.
Right.
But I think that they are beautiful, majestic creatures that I never care to mess with, ever.
Right. Ever.
Like going into a cage or something like that. Or like when what's his name? Corbin or whatever? What's the animal dude's name?
Steve Irwin.
Yeah, Steve Irwin
got
pierced by this frickin' stingray. I don't ever want to get that, dude. I don't ever want to be around that. No thanks.
No.
All those like little sea creatures and stuff that can swim up your pee hole. Like, what is that?
What is that? Why? How do they know to do that?
Yeah. What's your deal? Why are you gonna kill me from my favorite place, dude?
Yeah. Why? It's unnecessary. I don't do deep oceans.
Yeah.
I don't do deep ocean swimming. That's not for me.
But I got a massive problem. Like we walk on the beach. I don't put my feet in the ocean.
Oh, like that?
I can't do it.
Really?
I can't do it. I'm like, no. And I love swimming.
So
I've dove off so many waterfalls I can't tell, or bridges.
Right.
Like, I don't have a problem swimming.
But it's the ocean. So you can't even go to the beach and go out in the waves?
No.
Really?
No.
Really? Because I was like, yeah, deep water, I don't do that. But like, you can't even go out off the beach?
Like, if we're on that plane and I wake up, blah, 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 and those things are falling from the ceiling, I've already said my piece to God then and been like, well, this is it.
They're like, Nathan, put on your mask. No mask.
I don't need it.
I'm just kidding.
This is my last bits of air right here. I'm going to breathe in everybody's farts for the next 30 seconds.
That's it.
And yeah.
That's it. I'm not going to Davy Jones.
Everybody would be swimming and jumping in rafts, and I'm just laying on my back. No. No, just leave me.
Oh, yeah, man. That's that's
I
interesting.
love boats. I'll go on a boat.
In the ocean?
Yeah.
You're going to boat in the ocetion?
Yeah.
Would you go
I
on
actually
cruise?
went in Belize. You have to go on boats. You have no choice.
right.
They're like taxis.
Okay.
And we
Blue
went
Hole.
on a fishing boat, and we went fishing. It was cool, man. My brother caught a barracuda, which I didn't even know was edible because they have so many muscles and bones in them. But we took that rat because he was huge.
Good eating?
Yeah, we made they made fish sticks out of it for us.
Fish sticks? Why fish sticks and not like
because
a fillet
that's
stick?
how much meat you can get out of them. Like it's like pieces.
Right.
But it was good. It was good.
Interesting.
Super fresh.
Yeah, Belize has part of my fear is of the deep ocean. These
Yeah.
blue holes that are around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
Those
one
sinkholes?
yeah, dude, no. Like I saw this video of this dude free diving into one and went all the way to the bottom of the hole. No.
Well,
I saw.
how do you even get out?
He swims back up. Like these free divers, the dudes they empty their. I don't know what they do. Somehow they empty their lungs or fill their lungs somehow where they're like super buoyant and they just like boop, and they sink straight down, and they can sink for like ever, dog, like leagues down into the sea, and then they're like, okay, gotta go back up, and then they'll like bloop, like swim all the way back up, and they have these videos
without getting the bends or anything, huh?
I don't know what they do.
crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. And like I saw this one, this guy's, I'm gonna do it in the blue hole. I'm like, that is my nightmare. That is my nightmare. Like I don't do deep. Speaking of barracudas, we went to my boy got married. We were in Aruba, and we were doing like snorkeling. You know, first day it was like snorkeling like right off the beach. You know, and like there was like some coral, and it was like we were like it was so much fun. Like tomorrow we're gonna take out a catamaran. So we went this catamaran and took this snorkeling trip, and we're thinking we're gonna go somewhere like that, like kind of off. There's gonna be some coral. You know, if we need to stand up, we can stand up. Nah, son, he takes us out. Like we're like going out where it's just blue sea. And
You're
like,
just
yes. And I'm like, where are we going? There's no snorkeling out here for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't want whatever's out here to see. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. And so I guess they have this the shipwreck that was. They sunk it like in World War, I don't know, World War something. So World War II maybe, that it was sunk, or maybe no, it was a different war. But anyway, it was this warship that was sunk, and they had a hurricane that had pushed it back from the sea floor and pushed it up. So if you were driving on this highway, you could see it like you know, on like on the beach, you know. So they had to tow it back out. And so they tow it back out. It's basically like a natural reef, you know, and stuff like that. And, you know, so for a tourist, they can take them out and they can go and snorkel. So we went out to snorkel, and he's like, you know, we're going to go back out to the ship. He's telling a story about the ship and, you know, like this, you know, this story of how people died on it and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, now you're already starting, Dad. You're already starting. Don't start telling me these
Why
stories.
you got to do this to me?
Why are you doing this? Like, we're going to see a sunken ship. Now you're telling me, like, these people died. I'm like, I don't want to hear about that. So we get out there and we get off, and he's like, you know, the guy's telling us. He's like, all right. He's like, make sure you follow me. You know, do everything I tell you to do. And he's like, you know, if you see any red fish, like, don't put your fingers out. The red snapper, they'll take your fingers off. You know, he's like, I'll show you. He had this chainmail, you know, for his hands, and he would like feed the fish. And he's like, don't feed the fish. I'll feed the fish. Like blah blah blah. And so, you know, so we're like snorkeling. We're like on top of the water, and it's like deep water, son. Like deep water. And so we're like you know, we're swimming and we see some fish, you know, like blah blah blah, and like swimming around. And he kept telling us, like, if you see barracuda, you know, usually they stay down lower. He's like, if you see them, he's like, swim straight to the boat. You know, don't go by them. Like swim straight to the boat. I'm like, okay. So like we're going out, and then he like stops us. He's like, okay, we're gonna go. He's like pointing like just out into the deep ocean. He's like, we're gonna go that way and then back over to the boat. And he's like, I'll tell you to look down and you'll see the ship. So we're like going, Doug, and we're going, and then just like I'm looking, and just like out of the darkness, Doug, like you see this mast like coming out of the darkness, and you're like swimming over the top of this giant, huge boat, Doug. And then it's like one of those things, like once you see a piece of the boat, then you see automatically your eyes see the rest of it, and like you just follow the mast down, and then you just see this giant boat, Doug, like down there, and you realize like how deep it is, and my heart's just like dum 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 dum, like pounding. Like I'm just starting to freak out, and I'm like, okay, like you're fine, like you're at the top of the water, like you're fine, like, you know, there's no fish. And then the guy, he's like trying to get everybody's attention, you know, he's like waving, and he has like this, you know, like whiteboard, and he's like, and he holds up, and he's like barracuda, and he's like pointing down, and like right around the top of the mast, like swimming around the top of the mast is this huge barracuda, man. And that's when I was like, I'm done. I'm like sit up out of the water. I'm like, no, I'm not. I can't. I'm about done with this. Are we done? Can we go to the boat? I just want to go and have some beers. Like,
I'm gonna stay right here. Go get the boat. Bring it over.
Quickly. Yeah. And then my scuba diving story. I just don't do deep water.
Yeah. See that right there? I'm good.
Nothing there. Nothing there for me.
I mean, if a barracuda bites you, you're probably not gonna die.
You're not gonna die. I mean, you'll lose a limb.
Yeah. I mean, you got 4.
Not 4 of them. Being a punk.
But I don't want to have to ever be in a predicament like that.
Nah, man. It's like being in space. It's like being in space.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? You can't
breathe.
You
can't outswim anything that is out there.
No, there's nothing for me down there. That's why God made me a land creature.
Yeah.
I am a land creature.
Yep.
I'm not a sea creature. I swim with my arms, and that's it. This is something my wife has harassed me about since we've known each other. When I swim, I am an arm swimmer. Unless I have
A barracuda next to you.
A barracuda. Then I'm
you
walking
swim
on
with
water.
your legs.
Then I'm sprinting on
Then
top
you
of the
run
water.
on top of the water.
No, if I have flippers on, I can kick all day long. But something about it's like when you put the kickers on me, it's like my legs are like, oh, okay, like now I get it. But you take them off, like my legs are just dragging in the water. My arms are like, so I get, if I have to swim, like I get tired kind of quick, But I just, for some reason, I can't do both. I can't do my arms and kick. I can like snorkel and just kick, but arms and feet together, they don't do it. They don't do it. And I at least I'm a black person that can swim. Okay, I can swim. I might not be the most efficient swimmer. I listen. I'll live in the I'll live in the water without a floaty for like. I got about 5-6 minutes. If
you can swim without an adult's hand on your abdomen holding you up, then that counts.
Oh, well, you didn't say that.
Oh, I see. Well, Nathan, you didn't let me finish my story.
No, I can swim. I can swim.
But that's the only thing. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. That's it.
I'm sure you could name probably 100 more things I have wrong with me.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Come on.
No, come on.
There's one. Come to think of it, that kind of revolves around.
Since you brought it up. But yeah, man, that's just a little taste of a little learning. You learn about us, learn some more about us in the future. But I'm excited about this, man. I'm excited about what we got going on. I hope you guys are excited for us too. We got a lot of stuff we got planned for you guys.
If you get real excited and you're like, I just want to hang out with these guys, don't invite us on a boat sea trip.
Please don't, or any type of spider excursion. And if there is a spider excursion, please tell me about it so I can destroy it.
I'll kill them for you bitches.
All of them. But we appreciate y'all. Probably episode 1 for the masses.
It's episode 1. See, because if we don't post this one, then the next one's 1.
The next one's 1.
So this is 1.
So this has to be 1. But we love y'all. Thanks for coming out. Never dirty, mostly clean.
Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Never dirty, mostly clean.